I want you to imagine that you are standing alone in a dark room. No applause, no spotlight, no audience cheering your name. Just you and the life you have been postponing. Because deep down, if you are honest with yourself, there is something you know you should have started already. A dream, a goal, a business, a new career, a healthier body, a stronger mind, a better future. And yet, year after year, so many people remain stuck in the same place. Not because they lack intelligence, not because they lack talent, not because opportunity never existed. They remain stuck because of one invisible question. What will people think? Tonight I want to destroy that question forever. Because the truth that changed my life is this: no one cares. Now, before you misunderstand me, listen carefully. I am not saying you are worthless. I am not saying your life has no meaning. I am not saying love, friendship, or family do not matter. I am saying something far more powerful. Most people are too busy fighting their own battles to spend much time judging yours. And once you truly understand that, fear loses its grip on your life. Think about how many decisions you have delayed because of people who were not even present. You wanted to post your first video, but you imagined classmates laughing. You wanted to apply for a better job, but you imagined co-workers saying you were not qualified. You wanted to speak German, English, or another language more confidently, but you imagined strangers noticing every mistake. You wanted to go to the gym, but you imagined everyone staring at your body. Notice something important. In each situation, the people were often imaginary. Your mind created a courtroom. Your mind filled it with critics. Your mind wrote the accusations. And then your mind convinced you that the verdict was already guilty. Meanwhile, the real world kept moving. The truth is that most strangers will forget you within minutes. Most acquaintances will forget your mistakes within days. And the few people who genuinely care about you usually want to see you grow, not remain frozen by fear. So why are you giving millions of imaginary judges control over the one life that belongs to you? There is a moment that comes in every person's life when they realize something uncomfortable. No one is coming to rescue them. No one is going to wake up every morning and chase your dream for you. No one is going to exercise for you. No one is going to study for you. No one is going to build your skills for you. No one is going to knock on your door and say, "I noticed you have incredible potential, so I have decided to build your future for you." That moment can feel terrifying, but it is also the beginning of freedom. Because when you stop waiting for permission, support, validation, or perfect circumstances, you discover a power that has been hidden inside you all along: self-responsibility. And self-responsibility is the birthplace of transformation. The world does not pause for your hesitation. Look around. Every day, people are starting businesses with less experience than you. People are learning new skills while working full-time jobs. People are moving to countries where they barely know the language. People are rebuilding their lives after failure, divorce, bankruptcy, rejection, illness, and heartbreak. The world is filled with imperfect people taking imperfect action. Meanwhile, many talented individuals remain trapped in preparation mode. They read another book, watch another tutorial, wait for another sign, seek another opinion, and years disappear. Here is a hard truth. The world does not reward potential. It rewards applied potential. A seed has enormous potential, but if it stays in your hand forever, it never becomes a tree. Your dream is the same way. Potential without action is merely a comforting fantasy. The spotlight effect is destroying your confidence. Psychologists have a name for one of the biggest lies your brain tells you: the spotlight effect. It is the tendency to believe that everyone is paying far more attention to you than they actually are. You walk into a room and think everyone noticed your awkward entrance. You mispronounce a word and think everyone remembers it. You make a small mistake at work and think people are discussing it all day. But what are they really thinking about? Their bills, their relationships, their deadlines, their insecurities, their health, their future. You are the center of your universe, but you are only a tiny passing moment in most other people's days. This is not depressing. This is liberating, because it means you are free to begin before you feel perfect. Let's talk about the beginner's courage. Every expert you admire was once embarrassingly bad at what they do. The musician once played the wrong notes. The athlete once struggled with basic exercises. The public speaker once trembled in front of a small audience. The programmer once stared at confusing error messages. The entrepreneur once had no customers. The content creator once had 0 subscribers. Imagine if they had said, "I'll start when I can do it flawlessly." They would still be waiting. Perfection is not the price of entry. Beginners have permission to be beginners. Read that again. You do not need to earn the right to start. Starting is how you earn the right to improve. Your fear of embarrassment is costing you years. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather experience 5 minutes of embarrassment or 5 years of regret? Because that is often the real choice. Embarrassment is temporary. Regret is persistent. Embarrassment says, "People might laugh today." Regret whispers, "You could have become someone completely different if you had started." One awkward conversation could lead to a new friendship. One imperfect application could lead to a new career. One shaky presentation could lead to new opportunities. One first video could lead to a completely different future. But none of those possibilities exist if fear keeps you silent. Stop announcing your dreams. Some people talk constantly about what they are going to do. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to learn data analysis. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to change my life next year. Dreams become a form of entertainment, but life is not changed by announcements. It is changed by repetition. One workout, one page, 1 hour of study, one job application, one difficult conversation, one more attempt after failure. The people who change their lives are usually not the loudest. They are the most consistent. There is a season of life that many people misunderstand. It is the season where nothing appears to be happening. You wake up early. You study while others sleep. You save money while others spend it. You practice skills that nobody notices. You read books that nobody asks about. You fail privately. You improve quietly. From the outside, it looks ordinary, but underground, roots are growing. A tree spends years developing roots before it can withstand storms. If it grows too quickly without strong roots, the first strong wind can destroy it. Your invisible work is not wasted time. It is root-building time. And roots matter more than applause. This may be one of the hardest lessons to accept. People do not owe you belief before you have evidence. Do not become bitter because others do not immediately support your vision. They cannot see what you see. They have not lived inside your mind. They have not felt your hunger. They have not heard the conversations you have with yourself late at night. Your job is not to force people to believe in you. Your job is to build something that makes belief unnecessary. Let your discipline become your argument. Let your progress become your evidence. Let your results speak so clearly that explanations become optional. At the end of your life, there is one opinion you will never escape. Your own. Not the strangers online. Not the classmates who doubted you. Not the relatives who underestimated you. Not the co-workers who questioned your abilities. When you are alone with your thoughts, the question will not be, did everyone approve of me? The question will be, did I have the courage to pursue what mattered to me? That is the question that truly matters, because approval cannot give you peace if you abandoned your potential. Waiting feels safe. Waiting allows you to keep the fantasy alive. As long as you never try, you can always imagine that you could have succeeded. But untested potential becomes a prison. The longer you wait, the heavier the first step becomes. You tell yourself, I'll start when I have more money. I'll start when I have more time. I'll start when I feel confident. I'll start when people support me. I'll start when conditions are perfect. Listen carefully. Perfect conditions are a myth. The people who move forward are not the people with perfect circumstances. They are the people who decide that imperfect action is better than perfect delay. Your future is built on ordinary days. Everyone wants the dramatic breakthrough, the viral success, the big opportunity, the life-changing moment. But most transformations are built on days that feel completely ordinary. The day you study for 1 hour even though you are tired. The day you choose the healthy meal. The day you practice speaking despite making mistakes. The day you send the application even though you fear rejection. The day you create something even though nobody is watching. Success is rarely created in a single heroic moment. It is created through thousands of ordinary decisions, repeated consistently. People often ask, how do I stay motivated? Here is the truth. You will not always feel motivated. Some mornings, you will feel excited. Other mornings, you will feel tired, doubtful, frustrated, or discouraged. If you only act when motivation appears, your progress will always be unstable. Professionals do not rely on constant inspiration. They rely on commitment. Commitment says, I will do what matters even when I don't feel like doing it. That is the difference between people who wish and people who achieve. What if you fail? This is the question hiding beneath almost every fear. What if I fail? Let me ask a better question. What if you fail and survive? Because that is what happens most of the time. You apply for a job and get rejected. You learn from the process. You start a project and make mistakes. You gain experience. You speak publicly and feel nervous. You become a better communicator. Failure is rarely the end of the story. More often, it is the tuition fee for growth. The only guaranteed failure is refusing to try. Imagine a beginner entering a gym for the first time. They think, everyone is watching me. I'm too weak. I don't belong here. Meanwhile, experienced lifters are usually focused on their own workout, their own goals, their own progress. This is true in many areas of life. Beginners believe they are being judged constantly. Experts are usually too focused on their own improvement to spend much time judging others. Do not confuse your self-consciousness with other people's attention. But social media has distorted reality. Social media makes it seem as though everyone is constantly observing everyone else. Likes, views, comments, and follower counts create the illusion that your worth is being measured every second. But attention is not the same as significance. A person may scroll past your post in 2 seconds. That does not mean your work has no value. Do not build your self-worth on metrics designed to capture attention rather than measure meaning. Some of the most important work you will ever do may receive very little applause, and some of the loudest applause may mean almost nothing. The freedom hidden inside, no one cares. Now we arrive at the heart of this message. If no one is watching you constantly, you are free. Free to learn. Free to experiment. Free to change your mind. Free to be a beginner. free to fail publicly, free to grow beyond the identity other people expect from you. This is not a message of hopelessness. It is a declaration of independence. The crowd is not your prison unless you choose to live inside its imaginary walls. Build a life that does not require applause. There are two ways to live life. 1. Performance. You make decisions based on appearance. What looks impressive? What gains approval? What avoids criticism? What keeps everyone comfortable? This life may earn occasional applause, but it often produces quiet dissatisfaction. Life 2. Purpose. You make decisions based on alignment. What helps me grow? What contributes something meaningful? What moves me toward the life I want? What would make me proud of my effort regardless of recognition? This life is sometimes misunderstood, but it leads to something far more valuable than applause: self-respect. The conversation with your older self. Imagine yourself at 80 years old. You are sitting quietly, looking back on your life. What will matter most? The strangers who might have judged your first attempt, the people who laughed at your beginner stage, the awkward moments that felt enormous at the time, or the opportunities you never pursued because you were waiting for universal approval. Your older self is not begging you to avoid embarrassment. Your older self is begging you to be courageous while you still have time. Courage is not loud. Many people think courage looks fearless, but real courage often looks like this: submitting the application while your hands shake, speaking up while your voice trembles, starting the project while doubting yourself, trying again after being rejected, continuing when nobody notices your effort. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else is more important than fear. Never underestimate the power of small, daily actions. Reading 10 pages a day becomes thousands of pages in a few years. Practicing a language for 30 minutes a day becomes hundreds of hours of exposure. Saving a small amount consistently becomes financial stability. Exercising 3 times a week transforms a body over time. The problem is that small actions feel insignificant in the moment. You do not see dramatic change after one workout, one study session, or one application. But life is governed by compounding. Tiny actions repeated consistently create extraordinary outcomes. The responsibility that changes everything. Here is the sentence that separates victims from builders. My future is ultimately my responsibility. That sentence is not blame, it is power. If your future depends entirely on other people, you are powerless. But if your future is influenced by your daily choices, habits, discipline, and persistence, then you possess the ability to change it. Responsibility is heavy, but it is also empowering, because what you are responsible for, you can improve. When people finally notice, something interesting happens when you work consistently for a long time. At first, nobody notices. Then a few people notice and ignore it. Later, people begin asking questions. Eventually, some of those same people say, "You're so lucky." They see the result. They do not see the early mornings, the self-doubt, the failed attempts, the months when nothing seemed to be working, the years of invisible effort. What the world calls overnight success is usually the visible result of a very long period of unseen work. Do not wait to feel worthy. Many people secretly believe they must become worthy before pursuing their goals. They think, when I'm more confident, I'll start. When I'm more experienced, I'll apply. When I'm more talented, I'll create. But worthiness is not a prize awarded at the end of the journey. You are already worthy of learning, trying, growing, and improving. The journey itself is what develops confidence and competence. Do not demand proof of future success before allowing yourself to begin. The 3 questions that can change your life. Whenever fear stops you, Ask yourself these questions. 1. What is the worst realistic outcome? Usually, it is far less catastrophic than your imagination suggests. 2. What is the best possible outcome? A new opportunity, a new skill, a new relationship, a new career, a new life. 3. What is the cost of doing nothing? This is the question most people forget. The cost of inaction is often invisible because it arrives slowly. Another year without progress, another year of regret, another year of wondering, what if? The truth about rejection. Rejection is not a final judgment on your worth. It is information. A rejected application means that application was not accepted. A rejected idea means that idea was not chosen at that time. Do not turn temporary outcomes into permanent identities. You are not a failure. You experienced a failed attempt. Those are completely different things. Every successful person has a collection of rejections that the world rarely sees. Your life is happening now. One of the greatest illusions is the belief that real life will begin later. After the degree, after the job, after the money, after the relationship, after the move, after the perfect moment. But life is not waiting in the future. Life is happening today. The habits you practice today are shaping the person you will become tomorrow. The conversations you avoid today are shaping the opportunities you miss tomorrow. The actions you take today are shaping the future that will eventually feel inevitable. Stand up and choose. So here is what I want you to do. Think about the goal you have been postponing, the business idea, the apprenticeship, the career change, the language you want to master, the healthier body, the creative project, the dream that keeps returning to your mind, no matter how many times you try to ignore it. Now understand this, the world is not waiting to give you permission. Most people are not thinking about your dream. Most people are too busy thinking about their own. And that is the best news you could possibly receive, because it means you are free to begin, free to be imperfect, free to learn publicly, free to fail, adapt, and continue, free to become someone your current self cannot fully imagine yet. Here is the final message. Listen to me one last time. No one cares if you stay comfortable. No one cares if you postpone your potential. No one cares if you spend the next 5 years making excuses. The world will continue moving. But that same truth contains incredible power. Because if no one is going to build your future for you, then you get to build it yourself. Brick by brick. Day by day. Choice by choice. You do not need everyone's approval. You do not need perfect confidence. You do not need guarantees. You need a decision to stop living for imaginary critics, a decision to stop waiting for the perfect moment, a decision to take responsibility for the one life that has been placed in your hands. Years from now, people may look at your success and assume it happened suddenly. They will see the results. They will not see tonight. They will not see the moment you finally understood the most liberating truth of all. The crowd was never your destiny. Your actions are. So stand up, take a deep breath, and begin. Not when everyone believes in you. Not when fear disappears. Not when conditions become perfect. Begin now, because the moment you stop waiting for the world to care is the moment you finally become powerful enough to change your world forever. Do not take this for granted. Goodbye, and thanks for listening.